Hello everybody. Um, just another video here. Thank you so much for everybody who watched the video that was about the silence and let go. There was a lot of feedback on that video. A lot of positiveness that the people understood the mirror effect that happened to it. That was I explaining to how to work. I had a lot of good positive feedback. A lot of people got help, and this was so important for me and other people who work right now. To we trying to focus and shift you to stay away from the pain. You trying to stay away from the suffering when you are within twin flames, because that way you don't help nobody. You don't help, first of all, you don't help yourself as a twin flame, but the second thing, you don't help the society, you don't help other people, and it becomes chain reaction. We want to rotate these chain reactions by putting more understanding about the journey. um, One of the feedback that I actually have, which is triggers this video, it's titled "The Resistance and the Final Surrender." I will try to explain it to you how this surrendering part is, how this is tied up from resistance to acceptance and to surrender, and what's happening when you do this, and what will trigger the other side of you to do those actions. So there was this lady that she sent me some very long messages. I cannot explain the whole story. It's gonna take me like half an hour. I know she's probably watching the video right now. She's laughing on it. Yeah, I talked him way too much. He has a lot to talk. So basically, the whole story is that she and her counterpart, they know each other for quite a few years. They've been on and off. She pulled it off the first time because she was married. Then she finally understood that she has to get off of her marriage. Now she's selling her house. Her counterpart, her twin, wants her to be with her and buy the half of his house of it. But 4 days ago, all of a sudden, he's like, you know what? I don't want to do anything right now. I'm so much. I just want to do and focus on my work. They're both professionals, and they're both psychologists. That's what they do for a living. And when she contacted me and she watched the video of the silence and let go, things that triggers, and I told her, well, there is an answer why this is happening. I will make a video, because if I try to explain it to everything to you, why after 4 days he's trying to break away with it, why this things happening, is because of resistance. The resistance comes because there was no acceptance, and the acceptance is because of the surrender. You did not surrender, so you can be accept, and there will be no resistance to change, resistance of the union. So how to begin of this? I watch also today. There was a point me out a video of someone who make it. He's like I won't mention his name. I won't mention what it does. It is about he put it out in the public for the twin flames that I contact my twin flame and I told her three things that she has to do in order she to be with me, because I suffer from before from other previous relationships. And this is resistance. This is about that powerful resistance inside of you, that you said you have to meet this part in order you to overcome my resistance. If I don't meet these requirements, if you don't fulfill those requirements, I'm going to resist you. I will not want to have anything with you. I do not accept you, and I'm going to be stubborn. I will not surrender to who you are. And that triggers all these events. So you basically want the union, but you have a resistance. A lot of the twin flames that I'm talking about, they have a resistance inside. That was including me. for existence, I want her to be awakened. I want her to talk to me. I want her to be brave, so she can overcome her braveness and say, "Hey, Dio, how are you?" To reach out to me. So this was that was my resistance. She has to do this, otherwise I'm not doing anything. That's my resistance, okay? And now when the soul evolves more and more, and the soul tells me, well, that doesn't solve problem, Dio. You need to look more deep of telling the people what this is all about. So I look at it, this guy here that's talking to you. I looked that guy in the mirror and I was like, Dio, what is that? What's going on? Why they telling you to look myself? And they were like, well, you put these requirements for her, and when you put these requirements, you don't accept her. If you do not accept her, then you haven't surrendered your own will. And if you don't surrender to that will, the universe cannot accept what needs to be accepted. So I look at myself, I look at the mirror effect of me, of what I was doing. That was like, the part of it. So, like for instance, okay, she does not accept me. Okay, she resisting me simply because she has her rules for me. Maybe she wants to be more muscular. Maybe she wants me to be more younger. Maybe she wants me to be whatever she wants to be, right? So she has this preset conditions, which is the resistance. Once those conditions are made, she can accept me, right? And then she will surrender to those conditions and will say, okay, let's get together. And this is the part that you have to look at inside of you. What's the condition you set up for your twin? And you have to stop that resistance, accept your twin as who you are, as who they are. And when you do this acceptance inside of the soul, you will surrender that you do not want to change them. You do not want to tell them anything. You don't want them to be awakened. You don't want them to be so spiritual. You don't want them to be blah 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 blah, and on and on and on and on. You want them, when you surrender, you want them to be them. They will bring an experience that is good for you. And you have to accept them as who they are, the way they are. They're made perfect, and this is the part you need to surrender. Because you have resistance, you have your acceptance, that you're going to be accepted only if they're a certain way to you, and you do not surrender. So I hope you follow me that you have to surrender to your will and accept your twin as the way they are. And then the resistance is going to go away. Simply because there is no more reasons for the resistance. There is no any more requirements that you put out there. And this is my advice to this couple, is that they still have the requirements. They have to look the requirements. They need to face it. Because if you accepted someone in the soul just the way they are, without any requirements, okay, you leave it out to the universe. And the universe is going to tell them what it needs to tell them. It's like, okay, well, they were there for you. They are who they are. It's your job. You will accept them or reject them. If you reject them, you will suffer. You accept them, might be something good. But that's the universe's job. That is not the job of you. A lot of the twin flames making this mistake, they want to change their twin flame. They want to awaken their twin flame. They want to go fix your health, go look at this part inside of you. You need to get better with this, you need to get better with that, and you do exact the same mistake you did in any relationship. Because when any relationships begin, what you do is that you liked everything, you like everything's perfect, and all of a sudden, boom, oh my god, she or he doesn't do this the way I expected or I thought it was. Next thing is hit you, wow, she's angry at me because I did something, but this is me. She doesn't accept me the way I am. And here the problems begin into the relationship. Here, as in a twin flames, you have to understand everything is upside down. Okay? Before a normal relationship, you get in a relationship and then you try to think that works out. Here in the twin flame, everything is backwards. You have to solve the problem before you begin in a relationship. And this is the power of the mirror. You see two different things, okay? You're here and there is a reflection of you on the other side that you have to face the mirror. You have to face the same thing. I explained this with quite a few times, okay? Like for instance, this is a coffee mug, okay? But you don't see what it says on this side. I see it. You don't, okay? But when I turn it around, then you will see it. What it says and what it is written there. So here is the part of the mirror that by you looking inside of you, of yourself, through that mirroring effect, you can go ahead and size the full picture of you. And when you unblock the resistance inside of you, you begin to accept. And when you begin to accept, you surrender. And then you figure out that the pain, it goes away. With this message, I hope that you will be clear out what that final surrender is, because you have no other things anymore basically to surrender. I hope this is the last one that it needs to be done, because we have so many layers to peel it off. And the last surrender that I see is to surrender to the will of the universe. Most of us, we put out there this programming that we want to program the events of it, because that's how we used to work. And by this programming, we have the expectations of the results. Some of the people, they ask me, well, I don't know what I'm going to be doing in the next 3 months. You don't have to know what you're going to do in the next 3 months. Why do you need to know? The universe knows, but not you. You don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. Some of the astrologers will disagree with me. I'm like, okay, well, we can predict the environment, we cannot predict the outcomes of it, what exactly is going to happen, because the universe has its own fingers in that. It's like, hey, it's my turn. I said what needs to be done. You can only look the environment, and that's why in astrology reports, what I do, I just do it to put the environment out there, not because of everything else, but to come back to you of these situations that it needs to be brought out. It's surrender is to let go to the destiny that was made for you. This is my message for you, because a lot of the people, they don't surrender to the destiny. A lot of the people, they want to force their own destinies. They want to go ahead and read it down. Your destiny already was written down by the universe, by God, and You don't need to know what you're gonna do tomorrow. And the part of the twin flame, it is about you to learn, really, to learn how to love a counterpart, how to work with your counterpart, how you not to push your counterpart, and how to accept your counterpart and give them the time, space, and the freedom they to do what they have to do. Not to mold them, not to programming them, not to tell them why, how they have to love you to fulfill your desires. They're going to love you the best they can love you. With you, they can work on it with your experience. They to bring the love that you feel like they should give it to you. But what's going to happen is when you allow them, when you free them off, they will fulfill this part on their own. They will like to do this on your own, because this is what you're going to want on yourself. You to give them the pure, full love from you to them, by you doing all this stuff I just explained. Okay? And about this situation with this couple, they have not fully accept each other the way they are. And the soul says, no, no union yet. You two have not fully accept each other. You two have not fully surrender each other, that you're gonna be stop fighting for things and stop doing things together. If you one of it it's still struggling with this, then it's not possible. And that's what a lot of the twin flames have problems with. You trying to still have a control in the soul. You need to understand, I want you to clearly listen to me. The old three-dimensional crap, like you controlling the other, does not exist in soul. You cannot control another soul. You can love another soul, but not control. The only thing you need to have in a soul love, it's love. Nothing else should be exist. And whatever needs to be done, it's going to be done with love. And that's why this twin flames coming into your life is simply to learn that part. You to suffer enough until you don't understand the three things: trust, surrender, and let go. And that is the part that a lot of you continue struggling with. In soul, you cannot tell other person what to do. And that's why in soul you have resistance. They have to meet a certain requirements in soul for you. Why? Why someone has to fulfill requirements for you? They don't have to. You're the one who has to accept them. And in order you to accept them, you have to surrender that programming, those requirements that you have. And then there will be no resistance inside of you about them. That will reflect through the mirror effect about the resistance about you. They will understand that this resistance is actually give them a freedom. Now they can breathe. Now they can move on. Now they can get this unstuck situation of surrendering that you are. And the universe will work on them, not you. A lot of the twin flames, I'm hearing it, it's like, well, I contact him, I told him this, I told him that, and he's silent. He will be silent. You trying to control him with vibrations and soul. And that's what they say, you know what, screw you. I already had a relationship, many relationships, like everybody tries to control me. I'm looking for something else. And this what I'm looking for. It's peace in the soul. I need someone to accept me the way I am. I don't need somebody to tell me what I need to do. I have a soul for this, what to do. I don't need somebody to control me again. And this why surrender that part, surrender to control, is allowing the destiny that was made it for you to happen. And this is why to those two couples, okay, they have to accept this. They have to accept each other. They have to stop with their own way of controlling the relationship, to controlling the connection, and they just have to allow it, the things to be. That's all. It's not that complicated, but we making it more complicated. We making it more harder into it. And one final message to you is face yourself again in the mirror. Always, whatever you do, face yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself inside that mirror of you. Why you're still mad at your twin flame? Why you're still resisting your twin flame? And what is your inner part that you need to change inside of you to remove that blockage? Remove that blockage. You're gonna get freed up more after you did the let go part. And now, when you do this surrender part, you're gonna feel the last part, and that is to have the blind faith. So you can go ahead and have a trust in the universe. So with that, I leave you. I hope this video helps you out, and you know what? Be love.